everybody. Well, once again, we're on the road heading south. Kind of reminds me of a song that I've played before on this channel. Heading to Jacksonville today. We're going to drop something off for my granddaughter and spend the night there. And then we are going to head out tomorrow for the property. It's not going to be pretty on all, I mean the property's not going to be pretty. It's pretty overgrown. I'll explain why and why we had such great delays when I get there, and it's just one of those things. But things should start looking up in terms of the property coming up in the next few months, and who knows, you know, things might go quick. But anyway, we'll do that. I'm almost to the Florida line now, and we'll be in Jacksonville here shortly. It's been a beautiful day and a good drive. I don't know if people have been following the all the crap that's going on with the CDL licensed truckers, but on this drive in particular, the number of cops that have pulled truckers over that I've seen is 9 out of 10. I haven't seen so many truckers pulled over on the 95 since I've been driving the 95 for 2 years now. So I don't know if that's related to anything, and the cops are on the lookout and cracking down on, you know, some people who happen to be getting CDL licenses and shouldn't have them, or what. But it's been pretty fantastic in terms of, actually, better word is just, it's been pretty remarkable on this trip. So anyway, hang loose. We'll see you tomorrow when we get to the property.
Wake up, pray up.
Ah! Go on, go on. Come on.
There's a time for us to let go. There's a time for holding on. A time to speak, a time to listen. There's a time for us to grow. There's a time for laying low down. There's a time for getting high. A time for peace, a time for fighting. A time to live, a time to die. Time to scream, a time for silence. A time for truth against the lie. A time for faith, a time for science. time to run, to make a stand. Oh, this is the time of our life. Oh, this is the time of our life. Oh, this is the time of our life. Oh, this is the
This is the one thing I love about living in the country. This is what normal people do. They sight in their rifles and target practice with their handguns. God bless America. Okay, we're back at the property, and as you can see, it's all overgrown. I promised that I would say something about the relative slowness of everything. And part of that is the fact that the permitting took a very long time. Because we changed the barn size. There's still 2 poles that need to go off the back, and all those poles right over here need to move that way about 6 to 10 feet. And then we can get to not only the framing for the concrete there, but the framing for the house over there. But everything stalled, and nothing's been done. Also because the contractor has had issues getting the concrete guy here, but also he has other interests. So that scheduling is frustrating, to be sure. So it's possible I will be back here next week. The last time I was here, we started clearing, which was months ago. We started clearing for the orchard. And the orchard, it's not even close to being done yet, but the orchard's going to be in here. And the barn is there, and the orchard's going to be on, if you're facing the barn, which will be the shop where my 2-post lift will go, sort of auto shop, that type of thing, is going to go in here. So all of this still needs to be cleared out further this way. All that stuff needs to get out of here. And then he did kind of go almost all the way to the line here, so which is good, you know. I mean, it's better to have more cleared than less. And so some of these trees here, some of these water oaks might have to come down, and I might just take them down anyway and then just use them for sawing. But this stuff's all got to get out of here. Probably a little more of this stuff, and then the big stuff that's we can't use. We could use all of it, but it's got to be burned so we could have some maneuverability around here. So that's still got to be done. So the orchard's not too far away from being at least cleared. Leveled, that's a different story. But at least cleared, that would be nice. So let's get back to the tractor. I'm hoping that things will go relatively quickly. The timeline, at least at this point, is that we are moving in 2026 at some point. I will be down here much sooner. It's possible I could be down here by January of 2026. So the house would not be done by then, but a lot of stuff would be moved in here from our house so we can sell it and whatnot. Also, next time I come down, I've got some stuff, more stuff to do on the tractor. So I've got to change the front tires. These are 616s on here. I've got a lug nut I got to change too. But these are dry rotted. So these were flat when I got here. I pumped them up, and you can tell how bad the dry rot is getting on these. So these have to be changed out. There's just no doubt. So I'm going to have to bring a jack down, jack them up, get the lug nuts off, and then we'll take it in. Found a place that has tires for the tractor, and we'll get that done. So yeah, that is you know, slowly but surely getting things ready to go. I came down. It started right. The battery was getting a little. It's been two and a half months since I've been here. The battery was a little bit. It labored. Let me put it that way. But boy, I tell you what, she started right up. That's one thing about this Massey, man. It really, she's really reliable. So they did a good job rebuilding it and whatnot, and kind of restoring it to a functional tractor. And for a 1965 Massey, man, this pretty much suits my needs. I have next week, another reason why I need to come down next week is because I'm getting hopefully we'll be getting a bush hog here, and that I will be taking care of the grounds. I need a disc, but certainly I need a bush hog before I disc stuff, so I can just mow and cut down all of this forested stuff. Now, as to the what I've been doing, so I put a three post hitch here on it. This is just a Harbor Freight hitch. It's nothing expensive. I put the modifier on the top hitch here that pushes it out a little bit, and also allows it to grab the top. And then today I had to remove this, I don't know what you call it, this peg to put on a Cat 2 converter. And the Cat 2 converter over there I put on here months ago, but this one here needed to be chopped off because it was loose. The bolt here was loose and it was rusted to it. I tried to heat it up. I put some penetrating oil on it. Nothing happened. So I just basically ended up cutting off the bolt and putting the new one in, and then putting on the converter. And then a pin, a stabilizer pin, I think they call it there. I had to do a stabilizer pin right in there. And so this is ready, pretty much ready to go. The only thing I'll probably need to do is maybe, depending on what the bush hog is have, because of this, it pushes things out. So I may need an extension onto the PTO here. So I'm going to get the spline numbers on that and see if I can't have one on hand when I eventually get to the bush hogging part to hook up. But this thing works. I mean, it makes things so much easier to have one of these quick hitches on there. I mean, they're not as good as some of the modern quick hitches that they have, but for old tractors and whatnot, this is a nice modification that you can use. So this box blade can be just pretty much quick hitched right up, and I don't really have to get out and mess with anything on it now. So the Harbor Freight one was on clearance. I think they're getting rid of them for whatever reason, so I snatched it up for about $100, and that was a good thing, I have to say. So that's pretty much it. Gonna have to come back down. I'm gonna try and get that lug out today, and then find a replacement for it. But the tires have got to be replaced, and then this thing will be ready to roll. And so that is pretty much it on the property. I mean, there's not much. It's very frustrating. It's almost like, are we ever going to move in here? I have to say that's it. Let me walk over here real quick. When we were down here a few months ago, we did there's a couple of things that happened, and I know I pointed out one of them. And one of those was we set the corners of the house of where the house is going to face. So the house is going to face, the sun comes up over here. So the house is, these two corners are over here. Okay, so the house is going to be this way. So the front door is going to be kind of over here, but the fireplace is going to be nothing but windows around it. So the sun's going to come up, it's going to hit it. So it's going to be right here, and so we got the corner post here, corner post over there if you can see it. And then the contractor, before actually before the permits, we got all of the permits, which we did not get until around beginning of August. Cut the line for the electric, and this is where our electric will come in. They did a great job clearing just a bunch of junk out of here, dead trees and whatnot, and so that's all done. I mean, so there's some things that have been done, but it's been pretty much idle for 2.5 months, and you know, we're ready to get moving. So it's time to get moving. All right, well, that's pretty much it. I wish there was more. I've got a few things to do on the fence. I don't know if I'm going to do any of that, really. Today, probably not. I may wait until I come down next week. If things line up and the concrete guy is going to be here and whatnot, and we can start talking about actually getting things done, then I'll be here and I'll be working on that while they're working on the garage. And I don't know if they'll do anything to forming up of the house, but the whole property here has got to be raked. And when I get the bush hog here, then I'll be able to help all that. Because, you know, this is my responsibility now, and it needs to be, you know, you need to fight for your land. You need to fight for your land and improve your land. And that's what I intend to do. Okay, hang loose.
788, checking descent on this. I think that's been my problem all day, so apologies out there for anybody who put up with this, but I think this was descent with the radios being too close together. So WSII 788.
WSII 788, I believe. Okay, correction, WRPA 275, Unit 1.
Can't really see them, but the Angus cows are out in the field across the highway here. And one thing about being out here, that is, in the town I live in now, it wants to be a big city, and so they have been growing far too rapidly on purpose. They've done it. The elected officials in the town council have done it on purpose because they see money both for themselves and for the town tax rate, tax receipts. And now we hear in a town not even 5 years ago, we hear sirens every single day, 3 times a day. Ambulances, fire trucks, car accidents, crime, all of it. All of it. Because they built very rapidly, and what they're building now are not houses. They're building apartments. Nothing but apartments to shove everybody into a small coffin. And I understand why they're doing it. They're using it for a work climate where you have a lot of building going on. You need people to live someplace, and apartments are the cheapest and quickest thing to do, and you can get a lot of people into a very small space.
but it also brings a certain kind of person, you might say, whereas single family homes bring a different kind. The moon, if the light wasn't in the way, it would be nice. And the moon is bright tonight in Florida, and it's very quiet, except for, you know, the occasional car. Haven't heard one siren in 3 days. And, you know, that's something to be said about that. I hear cows. Heard my neighbor sighting in his gun. All of that is, like, beautiful to me. But can't get out of where we're living fast enough. It's going to become like the town that's bigger, that's across the river from it. A totally crime-ridden, depressed, and run-down, expensive, high-tax Democrat town. And that's usually what happens when towns grow. It's Democrats get elected eventually, and then what happens is everything goes to shit. But, you know, Republicans let that happen. So, you know, I mean, it's one allows the other to do it. So part of the reason people should maybe get out of what they're comfortable doing, well, especially for those who've never done it before. I have. When I was young, I grew up in it. I grew up around racehorses and cows and changing pipe and baling hay, and my whole entire preteen to teen life was doing absolutely that. Didn't do much hunting, but I did a lot of fishing every year. And you don't realize how much you miss it. And the reason why I'm walking around here, so I can get a better shot of the moon. And so there she is, without the light. She looks bright tonight. Hear a little bit of rumbling from the freeway, the interstate, off in the distance, but other than that, it's peaceful. And where I live now, not at all. Hang loose.